So my SR was running kind of shitty and smelt kind of bad. And I figured out I actually had two broken exhaust studs, one in the manifold and one in the turbo. So I removed both those, got new studs in, new hardware. I also got the manifold resurfaced and some new braided coolant lines. I reinstalled the turbo and manifold with all new gaskets and hardware. The car was incredibly more responsive and built boost a lot sooner. So after drifting it, I decided to do an oil analysis. And just by seeing it, I could see that there was a lot of metal and flake in my oil. I cut open my oil filter and there was no big chunks, nothing bigger than a grain of salt. And I also took my valve cover off to see if there was any metal up there. There was none, and there was no real excessive wear. So I suspected something on the bottom end. I filled it back up with oil, took it down to the shop, and decided to take the oil pan off. There was still a little bit of flake in the oil that I had just changed. The bearings and everything looked fine, but I wasn't able to pull a bearing cap off, so I don't really know. There was definitely no wear that I could see. There was some RTV gasket in my oil pickup, so I swapped that out. I also flushed the engine with some extra oil I had. I cleaned everything out and got the new oil strainer back in the engine. I resealed the pan and filled it back up with oil, and I'm now just waiting for my oil analysis results to come in. But it definitely seems like it might be time for a rebuild. It is possible that all this metal got into my engine when resurfacing the manifold, but I highly doubt that. And unless my turbo's going out, I think it's time for a rebuild. Maybe we go forged or something. I don't know. We'll find out soon.